Yo guys, it's Sam. I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to or back to the channel. Today I have the iPhone XR, and it's a phone that for the longest time I viewed as clearly worse than the iPhone XS. I thought as soon as I picked it up, it would feel cheap. It wouldn't feel as expensive or as premium because this is one of Apple's first flagships in a while that costs under $1,000. So it's about $750 for the 64GB version. I did get it in product red, and I have to say, this phone is incredible in product red. It's like the exact same Ferrari red shade as the iPhone 8. It's a little bit flashy, but again, I think it looks great. I think the color speaks for itself. Now, of course, $750 is not cheap. This is not a cheap phone. It's just a cheaper phone or cheaper option from Apple than the iPhone XS for $1,000 or the iPhone XS Max for $1,100. And I can honestly say, after using this for just a couple of hours, it feels really great, like just as good as an iPhone XS or just as good as an iPhone XS Max. And the screen size for me, I think, is spot on. I think Apple nailed it with 6.1 inches. I don't know how they got to or found that number. I'm sure they ran some studies on hand sizes and screen sizes, but 6.1 inches on this phone has been phenomenal. I was looking for something just a little bit bigger than the iPhone XS, and this is just a little bit bigger than the iPhone XS. And looking at the LCD screen, sure, the black levels aren't as good as OLED because the way that LCD screens work, you can't actually shut off individual pixels. But Apple's calling it Liquid Retina, and again, it looks fantastic. It doesn't look like a cheap screen or a downgraded screen. And the reason that I bring that up is because I've seen a lot of comments talking about why the LCD screen is going to be bad, why it's going to look awful, and that's never been the case with Apple LCD screens, and it is certainly not the case this year. Apple did an amazing job with this phone, but more specifically with the screen. It's what you're going to be looking at all the time, and I really think you're going to love it. The battery life on this phone is also supposed to be pretty incredible. Obviously, I just got it, so I can't really test that part out yet, so stay tuned for my full review. Subscribe for that. Of course, hit like if you're excited for the iPhone XR. But that is pretty much where the differences on this phone stop. Of course, you've got some great new wallpapers built inside of the settings app, but the processor is the A12 processor, crazy fast. I think the fastest mobile processor on the market still. 12 megapixel camera on the back that can shoot some incredible photos, has better low light performance than something like the iPhone 8 or even the iPhone 10. The only thing you're missing out on the iPhone XR is that second lens. But even though it doesn't have a second lens, apparently Apple was magically able to introduce portrait mode on this phone as well. So again, if you want portrait mode, if that's something important to you, you don't have to go up to the iPhone XS. That's why I'm having a hard time now justifying the price of the iPhone XS for $1,000, because you have to really decide if the 5.8-inch screen that is OLED and the second camera, I almost forgot like the list of differences here, is worth an extra $250 to you. Of course, I'll give you that answer in my full review. But for now, $750 on the iPhone XR feels like a much better bargain than $1,000 for the iPhone XS, just because you get better battery life and a bigger screen. Plus, you get all the great features like the same processor, the same camera. You get portrait mode still. The only other thing I've noticed myself missing on the iPhone XR is 3D Touch. Apple has removed it, so the way it works is you just tap and hold like that. I'm actually applying like little to no pressure, and you can see it's turning on and off. I've never actually looked at my flash on camera. It looks kind of weird. But it works the same way with toggles in Control Center. You can go here, tap and hold, and it's a pretty good solution to not having 3D Touch. Should this phone have 3D Touch still? Should Apple have found a way to figure it out? Yes, they should have. But it works, and I don't know. If it works in these cases, I don't know if I'm going to end up missing it that much. So that's how Apple has gotten around 3D Touch. Overall, super positive first impressions with the iPhone XR. I love the red color. The camera looks great. The processor is great. The screen looks great. And the bezels are a little bit wider. They are a little bit thicker than on the iPhone XS. But honestly, again, I haven't really noticed it. They're there, and of course, if you compare the iPhone XR and the iPhone XS side by side, obviously the iPhone XR has some thicker bezels, but using the phone again, it sort of just melts into the edge of the display, and I don't notice it or mind it that much. So that's all I've got for you in this video. Let me know your thoughts on the iPhone XR down below. Did you buy an iPhone XS and you're looking at an iPhone XR? Do you want to get this phone? Have you been waiting to upgrade and now is the time? I want to hear everything down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe for more. That's all I've got. I've been Sam. I hope you're doing great, and I'll see you in my next video.